When making the first contact with a new potential client, I'm almost always asked the same question. What's your process? In this video, I'm going to break down my process for remote music production. I'll guide you through all of the steps involved and provide some tips for artists reaching out to producers. Pretty much all of the projects I work on fall into these two main categories, mixing and production. Let's start with music production. Not all projects or interactions are identical, but there is a typical path that these types of projects follow, and it looks like this. A client will reach out to me via Instagram, SoundBetter, email, or YouTube, and inquire about whether I'm available to help them create their next track. In some cases, they already have a basic demo recorded, and other times they'll just want an instrumental in a specific style that they can write and record to. I'll then ask about links to any reference tracks they have in mind. This just helps me get a clear vision for the direction of the track and also helps set the expectation. If the client sends me something I don't think I can execute well, I'll immediately tell them that I don't think I'm the right person for their project. This kind of honesty is really important and avoids any disappointment or disputes down the line. I can't emphasize this enough. Reference tracks are essential. At this point, the project is either good to go or the client will find somebody else. But generally, if it's good to go, the client will now fund the first 50% deposit and I'll get to work on the first draft. Generally, if I don't get it right on the first draft, I'll get it right on the second. Going through this iterative drafting process makes it so much easier to get on the same page and capture the client's vision. At this point, it's kind of rinse and repeat, with a few feedback sessions until the track is done. When it comes to mixing projects, it's a similar process, but the type of communication is slightly different. Let me explain. At the point when a track is ready for mixing, all of the production should be finalized. Not having this step done literally creates double the work, as replacing or adding elements in a track can completely throw off the mix of a track. So the journey for a mixing project is typically as follows. The client reaches out and checks for availability. They typically also attach a rough mix of the track for me to listen to. At this point, I start thinking about what needs improving and how I'd go about doing it. I like taking notes on the first listen that I can refer to while mixing. If I can't hear anything that I'd be able to improve, I'd give the feedback to the client and let them know that in my opinion, the song is ready. Sometimes a song doesn't actually need extra mixing, it's pretty much ready as is, but there are most cases I would have to go ahead and mix. So if we decide to go ahead and mix the project, I'll ask the client to give me some notes on any specific creative mixing aspects they'd like me to include. Once I have the first draft of the mix ready, I'll send that back to the client for feedback, and then once again go into the iterative loop until the mixing is done. Sometimes, however, I'll start getting some other great creative ideas that could include changes to the production. Although this kind of violates the first point I made about the production having to be finalized before mixing, if it's something I can do to help enhance the track or add some additional flair to take it to the next level, it's worth it. Generally, I'll also communicate this back to the client and save that project separately. Every type of project is different, but the end goal is always the same. Do whatever is necessary to help the client achieve their vision for the track. If you enjoyed this video, you'd want to watch this one where I talk about 5 mistakes that both beginner and experienced music producers and artists make. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.